that's pretty cool that you actually are using the Blumat moisture meter, because I'm using it as well. And just to dive a little bit deeper into that, it has a millibar reading on it, and I think Blumat recommends, correct me if I'm wrong, was it 50 to 100 millibar in order to have, that's like their optimal moisture level. Now, some people will dial it into 80 or 100. I think it's the higher it goes, the more drier it is, right?
Yeah, and I will basically, when I water it, I will water, it says saturated, but I know what's in the soil because say those 7-gallon pots, they take approximately 2 gallons of water, 8 quarts, 8 liters, whichever way you want to look at it.
Saturated to
That's saturated. So I know if I dry those things out, I mean completely, because I did that to grow before I completely, until my plants were drooping, dried it out completely, the 7-gallon pot. They will literally take 2 gallons about to make it right. And well, when I do a full watering on my plants, let me try to get my head straight wrapped around this. When I do a full watering from dryback now, it's when I do dryback on those, to get them completely saturated where I have any runoff, I'm only adding 6 quarts, right? So there's 20%. So I'm not going completely down on it. It's absolutely important, like you said. And I have noticed through veg, that's when you notice all the growth. Keeping those girls wet has just stimulated the growth so much on those. And like I said, it's helping the microbes. They're not going into a dormant state anymore. So they've got that, before when you're doing dryback. And dryback's great. And there's a lot of people that have been growing for 30, 40 years doing dryback. And it works for them. And they're growing with smaller containers and probably using synthetics, and quite honestly, and probably, running off on it and doing other things. We're organic. We just let that pot soak it right back up. I'm not measuring ppms coming out at the bottom. I mean, then once I water it completely and saturate it, of course, the next day from watering the 7-gallon, it's still going to show saturated. It's going to be only it's going to be probably 50 millibars even the next day after saturating. So it takes 2 days to bring it back to the 75, that 75, or even to the 50 where you want to water it. Because when it gets down, for me, when I come into the grow room and see it really 120, if it's 120 millibars, I'm kind of looking at it like, oh my goodness. If it needs to be watered, it's only like 1 quart. So usually when watering is really going for me in the grow, it's a couple quarts a day in each of those bags. And so when I come in, the millibar will go from saturated the day before, because I put filled it up 75%. It will go to somewhere between, usually around 180 to 300, depending to 300. And that doesn't necessarily mean it is drinking more. I just keep such a good chart of drinking and have really learned how to water. And some girls, when they're drinking more, it says 300, it only wants a couple, what would you call a liter? Like a couple, what is that, tenths?
Quarts?
Yeah, but not a whole liter, just a couple.
Ounces?
Ounces, yeah, like a couple ounces above. It doesn't need that much. It's just been, like I said, when you do use one of these meters, it's like your children. Do you know what I mean? You know your children. You're just so dialed in. Even if you're reading and it's giving you an idea, and then you look on what you watered it at when it was at 300 millibars to bring it where you want it, what you watered it when it was at 200 millibars. You keep some notes.
Yeah, we do have 7-day average now. Like he actually keeps track of how much water he puts in every day, and what the millibars said. And we do we keep a spreadsheet actually. And so we started doing this last grow with the moisture meter. We started doing a 7-day average for each plant.
And that's another thing I would probably suggest to anybody is write stuff down. I mean, that's been the best thing for us. And actually we have a spreadsheet that we do on our show, and I'm proud to do it because we're so, I want to say
transparent.
We're so transparent on our grow. And we want to be, because we want to help new growers and maybe give a few ideas to a couple old growers, I guess, on different styles or different growing. But we really want to help. I want to help me when I first started growing. And that's who I'm really talking to every week on our podcast, is I'm talking to me. And when I was looking on YouTube and different forums, I would find some bits and bits and bits and bits. It wasn't described well enough for me. It wasn't, because I'm dumb. I need everything step by step. And I just feel like it's missing something. It's just, Mr. Canuck, get the hell out of here. He's the biggest guy on YouTube. He don't even have to do videos every 6 months. I mean, he's huge. That's who I found first. Because I remember I started looking, when I started growing with Gaia Green after my first or second grow, I started growing with Gaia Green. So what do? You research Gaia Green. Who the hell's growing with Gaia Green? I got to know how to use this stuff. So I looked up his show, and I remember looking up his show. Oh, I love his videos. I love his editing. I love everything about his grows. The only thing I don't love about him is the magic. There's magic in there's magic. I'm not getting it. There's something, he's missing things. I don't know what he's missing, but he's missing things. And there's a lot of magic. And I didn't want to be that YouTuber that didn't let everybody know every single detail. So we do a spreadsheet, and you can find it in our description. Yeah. And it's watering.
And it's kind of cool. It's sort of, for us, it helps us because it kind of gives a timeline, for like, okay, so for up potting, for what week of veg we're in or whatever, and kind of gives us a timeline. Oh, these plants are doing a little better than last season, or oh, these ones are slower. And we can kind of see from what day we're on, what day of the grow, how the plants look.
This clip is brought to you by AC Infinity. Use discount code MrGrow at 15 to save on any of their products.